The school year is coming to a close in Kentuckiana, and experts agree learning loss over the summer break is a challenge for educators. But how much learning was lost while kids were out of the classrooms and online during the pandemic? Rose McBride and the Focus team have been digging through the data to examine the gaps that could be widening.
As the clock strikes 12:30 in Jenny Rivera's first grade class at Roosevelt Perry Elementary, there is no afternoon lull.
They make me happy. I hope I make them happy.
That happiness and classroom energy could come from being together in person after so much time apart.
I was so happy to be back in person with the kids. I mean, there's no greater joy.
Students are split into two groups because the JCPS board voted to return on a hybrid schedule. While Rivera doesn't get to see all of her students every day, she does get to see them face to face. That's important because during NTI, sometimes she would go days without seeing students on the computer.
I have 24, and on NTI we had a good 17 come consistently. The others, because of Wi-Fi, computers, they didn't make it as often.
Rivera's school, Roosevelt Perry Elementary, saw some of the lowest levels of participation among traditional schools in the district. On any average week of school online, 21% of Roosevelt Perry students did not log on to learn. That's about 2 in every 10 students MIA on NTI on any given week. Focus found the schools that followed with low participation rates were Western High, with an average of 18% of students missing class during any given week of the 2020-21 school year, 16% at Valley High, 13% at Englehart Elementary, and 13% at Iroquois High School. Eligibility of free and reduced lunch is one indicator of a family's income, and we found students at schools considered economically disadvantaged to be more than twice as likely to miss an entire week of classes online compared to students at schools that are not a part of a free and reduced lunch program. The district took notice as well.
It is clear that the higher the free and reduced lunch, the lower often the attendance rate is.
In an average week, about 5% of the students at economically disadvantaged schools did not participate in NTI. At schools where the population is not considered economically disadvantaged, only about 1.6% of the student body was MIA on NTI each week.
I think the socioeconomic plays a large role, because if you don't have ways of getting books in kids' hands, you don't have that book in your hand, you're not going to end up loving books.
Rivera wanted to make sure her students had what they need to succeed during NTI, so she went above and beyond, visiting her students at home and bringing them their very own supply kits.
If they had reading, they would get their reading in here.
That extra effort paid off.
At least 50% of my students are reading above grade level.
But some of those other 50% are not where they should be. And that's the case for a lot of students in the district.
We know that this is probably going to be a 5 to 10 year process in ensuring that we meet the needs of all of our kids as a result of COVID-19 and the pandemic.
The process has already begun. The first step was welcoming students back to the classroom and re-engaging them academically, socially, and emotionally. This summer, 5,000 to 10,000 students will take part in summer learning. Dr. Polio hopes by the end of a 5-year period, 30,000 students will be touched by JCPS over the summer.
Pretty quickly, we're going to have to assess where students are and really look at, all right, here where students are right now, establish that baseline of where we know students are, and then make sure we start to develop a plan.
That plan will be aided by more than $200 million that the district received in 2 rounds of stimulus funding. But it's going to take more than just the schools to make up this lost time. Everyone can be a part of closing that gap.
There is no doubt the next 5 to 10 years will require communities as a whole and really making sure that we meet the needs of our kids holistically. And that's just not schools alone in this battle.
For Focus, I'm Rose McBride.
If you have an idea you'd like our Focus team to investigate, you can send them an email at focus@whas11.com.